So the last of our economic development guys is Peter Coate. Peter is with the economic development. I'm always getting these wrong. Are you a manager, a coordinator? What are you, Peter? You're Mr. Economic Development in Santa Cruz. To talk about the city's efforts. Thank you.
Hi, thanks for having me. I've been working for the city of Santa Cruz since winter of 2008, and I was incredibly lucky to walk into a situation with a lot of resources. One of the best things about us is that we have an incredible amount of brand equity. I was on a hiking trail in Plivice National Forest in Croatia last year wearing my Amgen t-shirt, and the Croatian guy that passed me is like, "Oh, Santa Cruz, it's so beautiful there." Everybody knows who we are. We also have an incredible amount of natural beauty. We have an incredible research university that I'm an alumni of and I love dearly. We're the middle management workforce of Silicon Valley. And we also have great K-12 education, which is a great place to raise families. Also, our redevelopment department has incredible community support and political support from our council, and has had great leadership for decades. We wouldn't be here today if we didn't have sound financial leadership at redevelopment going back till after the earthquake. Frankly, I wouldn't have a job today if we didn't have that. Also walked into an effective tool set. Redevelopment California is a great mechanism, and it rebuilt downtown. It started incredible projects like the Tannery and the Marine Sanctuary Visitor Center that are revitalizing entire neighborhoods and helping people have a better place in Santa Cruz. There, with the redevelopment takeaways, it's been a very, very stressful year, but there are still federal and state grants out there. There are still tax credits. There are still bonds that we can put out. We just have to be creative, and we have to leverage, and we have to look in new areas. And it also requires a whole lot more public-private cooperation. I don't think that, like what Greg said, we can't be rowing the boat, but we can help steer it. One of the things that I've been working on lately is we're the finalists for Code for America. Code for America embeds developers into our IT department to help us kind of change the translation between bureaucracy and English, just to make our service layer and how we deliver services to the community easier for people to understand. Well, I find a lot of joy going through the municipal code. Not many entrepreneurs I work with do. Greg also mentioned the fact that we have an incredible workforce that is part of Silicon Valley. We are part of the Silicon Valley economy, and it's now at the point where we've got a lot of startups here. We've got a lot of co-working spaces, and we're the integration with that economic engine is key to our success as a community, which is why we put efforts into the Center for Entrepreneurship up at UC Santa Cruz, our work with Cruz.io, with NextSpace, the PIE project that I helped to start a couple years ago, which puts engineering kids into startups, and also the UCSC Business Planning Competition. We're working a lot on retail development right now. We're a once-in-a-generation refresh of downtown. Again, the infrastructure was already there for us to work with, which makes this an easier play. But as people move away from books and printed material to digital consumption of media, that means that we have to refresh who's in our downtown. Robert Gibbs has been a great help with that, identifying where people are spending their money and targeting our recruitment efforts to there. And I'd tell you more if I could. We're also working on developing incentives for retail and for other types of businesses in Santa Cruz. You probably read about the discussion going on around parking deficiency fees right now. And it's great to be able to develop those kinds of incentives that are revenue neutral to our department, not revenue neutral to the parking fund, but will increase volume overall. And then supporting the great brands that are already being developed by our locals, like Legs, Betty's, Eat In, and other businesses that have come into downtown. They're great retail concepts. We need to promote that, much like we have to promote the people that make surfboards, that make mountain bikes, and open up tourism in those areas, as well as people that just want to come to our beaches. But basically, with redevelopment takeaways, we just can't do this alone. It's going to require everybody's effort in this room to make it a success. And you'll be hearing a lot more from us as we get better about telling our story in the channels that people actually use, and just being creative like we have always been, like after the earthquake and before, to make sure that this is a better place to live, work, and play. Thanks.